So I remembered that when I was in prison. I didn't forget that. So again, man, just do a lot of reading and praying. Again, the Bible was and still is my foundation. I openly admit, man. I'd say to my wife, man, you take my relationship with God out, and as hard as it is out here, man, I'm gonna get me some money, man. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it smarter, but I'm gonna get me some money. That's just the way I felt coming home. Um, yeah, and there was just my son. I was locked up for I had been gone for 4 years, and then my youngest, my not my youngest, my oldest son had caught a case, and he was sentenced to 5 years in prison, and that crushed me, man, because I knew that was the direct result of me being in prison, because I had custody of my son, and was very much involved in his life, even though I was, in and out of the city getting money and all over. My son, he stayed with me a lot, and there were times he went to school from my home. I had custody of him in North Carolina, and when he caught that sentence, man, I looked in the mirror, man, and I knew that was me. It was more me to me than it was him, because I left when he was 14. No, when he was 13, about to be 14, and he was about to be 17 when he got sentenced. That weighed heavy on me, man. So once I came home, man, and I speak on this in a documentary in my book, Nevada's Death. It's a new revised version coming out, Nevada's Death Reloaded. I spoke on it, and I was I want to say fortunate enough to actually do time with my son. I was on my way out, he was on his way in, and we bumped heads, and we was in the same prison. And I felt like a total clown being in prison with my son. And any prison I went to, I've always had a high level of respect, just based on my reputation. I don't a lot of I didn't really have fear. I don't really feel like people feared me, because I didn't that wasn't my interest. But I had a lot of respect from people who were feared, tremendously feared. They just for whatever reason, man, they had a lot of respect for me, man. Um, and as much as I was respected throughout my bed, when I was in prison with my son, as much as he legend, he a legend from his hood and this and this, man, I felt like a clown. I felt like a clown. So I was only with my son for maybe 30 days before I was released, and could you imagine how that felt? Me leaving, and he freshly coming in. That last conversation I had with him, it was painful, man. So that actually added. That was like the cherry on the top for me, because I had already changed and said it was it for me. But to experience being in prison with my son and coming home, um, I knew that Brand New Life was definitely something that I was going to be subscribed to for the rest of my life. You know, um, and Brand New Life for me is different for what it than what it may be for somebody else, and that's respected, because there's levels to it. Because before I even knew I had a brand new life, I had experienced several brand new lives. When I got shot 6 times, and I was fortunate to live that was a brand new life. Now, what I did with that brand new life was up to me, but I did get you know, as a metaphor, that was a brand new life for me. When I moved out of state, and got exposed to black colleges and successful black businessmen, and black women. I would date a black girl, and she would work a full-time job and was in college full time. And I used to be like, man, this is crazy. Like, wow, it was amazing. I was intrigued at that, you know, and just being exposed to just to my culture in a different way, where it wasn't just poverty stricken. It wasn't just a bunch of drug dealers, you know. Greensboro was definitely another stage in my life when I first moved to Greensboro, North Carolina, where where I had a brand new life. So again, there was different levels. I didn't see it as that, but now when I look back at it, those were definitely moments where I had a brand new life. You know, when I initially came home, I used to look at dudes that was hustling and still hustling, especially older dudes, like idiots, like clowns, like clown. You know, after being home for maybe like 3, 4 years and really experiencing how hard it was to really be financially free and provide for your family, uh, let's just say I had a lot of grace for them. Still was something that I never chose to get back into. But I'll say this, man, I'm a lot less judgeful because you never know, and you know. So to those, to my homies that's still in the street, you know, may God's grace be on you, man. Just know that brand new life is an option for you, and it may not, and it may be nothing like mine. What's your brand new life? Is it getting married? And being faithful to your wife? Is it which is a whole nother subject right there.